heavy with an oppressive silence as Emily walked down the overgrown path leading to the abandoned village. Her tired eyes and anxious steps marked her journey away from the city, seeking solace in the eerie stillness of the long-forgotten settlement. The village, known for its strange history and unsettling reputation, had been deserted for decades. As Emily reached the outskirts of the village, she noticed the cobblestone path was crumbling and overrun with weeds. The old houses loomed in the dim light of her lantern, their outlines barely visible. Once lively and full of life, the village now stood silent and menacing. A faint, unnerving breeze seemed to stir the stagnant air, adding to the sense of foreboding. Approaching one of the houses, Emily was struck by the sight of skeletal remains scattered in front of the door, as if those people had gathered there long ago and never left. Varsale and Medin. Shivering, she hesitated but eventually pushed the creaky door open and stepped inside. The interior was a chaotic mess, dust-covered furniture, a musty smell, and the eerie silence that seemed to swallow every sound. The remnants of a past life were almost palpable, but the present felt unnervingly vacant. As night deepened, Emily's lantern cast flickering shadows that danced eerily across the walls. She tried to ignore the growing sense of unease gnawing at her, focusing instead on exploring the abandoned house. The once vibrant wallpaper was peeling, and broken furniture lay scattered around. Every creak of the floorboards seemed amplified in the dead of night. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the house, making Emily jump. Her heart raced as she looked around, but she saw nothing. The lantern's light wavered, casting unsettling shapes on the walls. Her breath came in short, shallow gasps as she moved cautiously towards the source of the noise. The sound of a distant, haunting scream pierced the silence. Emily froze, her blood running cold. The scream seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, reverberating through the empty house. Her mind raced with fear as she tried to locate its origin. She grabbed the lantern tightly, its weak light barely penetrating the oppressive darkness. Following the sound, Emily found herself in what appeared to be a small, decrepit study. The room was cluttered with old books and broken shelves. As she scanned the room, she noticed an old journal lying open on a dusty desk. The pages were yellowed with age, and the writing was barely legible. Trembling, she read the faded ink. The curse of this village is bound to the night. It awakens when the moon is high, and the souls trapped here cry out for release. Beware, for when the scream echoes, the darkness will come for you. A chill ran down Emily's spine as she realized the screaming was no ordinary sound. It was a warning, a plea for escape. Just then, the lantern flickered violently and went out, plunging the room into darkness. Panic set in as Emily fumbled for matches, her hands shaking uncontrollably. In the suffocating darkness, the scream grew louder, more frantic. Emily could feel a presence around her, something malevolent and unseen. She lit a match, revealing fleeting glimpses of shadows twisting and contorting in the dim light. Desperately, she searched for a way out, her eyes darting around in terror. Finally, she spotted the door and bolted towards it. As she ran through the house, the temperature seemed to drop, and the oppressive darkness felt almost tangible, pressing against her. The scream echoed in her ears, growing more intense with each step. Her breath came in ragged gasps as she burst through the front door and into the night. The village was now bathed in the eerie glow of a full moon, casting long, haunting shadows across the empty streets. Emily didn't stop to look back. She ran down the path, her heart pounding in her chest, the sound of the scream fading behind her. As she reached the edge of the village and looked back one last time, she saw the ghostly outlines of the abandoned houses, bathed in moonlight. The screams had stopped, but the oppressive feeling lingered. She knew that whatever had haunted that place was still there, waiting for the next soul to wander into its grasp. Emily fled into the night, vowing never to return. The village was left behind, but the memory of the midnight scream would haunt her forever, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lay hidden within its crumbling walls. Varsale and Medin.